Okay, we're live.
Let's do it.
I think we have been for a minute. That's fine. Hi, everybody. I'm still scooting. I think you scoot. I scoot? No, you scoot. Okay, anyways. Jake Chapman here with you. We're up on the radio deck. Chrissy Birdsall is with me. We're scooting. Trying to figure out if she's supposed to scoot or I'm supposed to scoot. But the bottom line is, we're back. It's Magic Game Day. We're looking live at the new floor as Magic unveiled their City Edition jerseys here tonight. You want to make sure you cop those. Come on down, head to the Magic Authentics team store, and you can pick those up, or you can always do so online at OrlandoMagic.com. The Magic coming off a big dub over the Dubs on Tuesday night. That was very satisfying, Chrissy Birdsall. Not just because it's nice to beat Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, but to survive all the nonsense that you get from Jimmy Butler in the fourth quarter of a close game, the march to the free throw line, the trying to get under Jalen Suggs' skin. I know you're somewhat new. A year ago, I'm not sure the Magic win that game. 2 years ago, I know the Magic don't win that game and probably get really frustrated with Jimmy Butler and all of his nonsense. That was a very mature win the other night. You disposed of a very good team, and you didn't let them scrape and claw their way back into the game with some of the extracurricular stuff that you saw.
Yeah, and Coach Mosley summed it up perfectly after the game. We heard it on the post-game show on the Magic Audio Network. He said they didn't get sucked into the show. They didn't get sucked into the Stephen Curry show. They didn't get sucked into Jimmy Butler show, even the Draymond Green show that he was putting on in that game. And it was a very good all-around team effort to get that win. Wendell Carter Jr. called it a bounce-back win. And it was a very balanced win, too. I feel like when you look at that score sheet, I mean, it doesn't even tell the tale of just how much the team was spreading the ball around, giving all the players opportunities, both in the starting five and even on the bench as well.
I think it's a really good point. You had a balanced output the other night. You basically have, and you basically need to continue to do so with Paolo Banchero out. The Magic are sharing the basketball, and when you look up and you see 23 from Desmond Bane, you see 18 from Franz Wagner, 13 from Jalen Suggs, and then another double-double from Wendell Carter Jr., and then what Anthony Black and Tristan Da Silva are giving you right now off the bench is it's almost indescribable. It's exactly what you need in order to get through missing your best player for 3 games, or one of your best players in Paolo Banchero. These guys are playing like starters right now, and eventually they're going to slide back to their role. But just Tristan over the last 3, for instance, you're talking about a guy who is playing about 33 minutes a night. He's averaging 16.7 points per game, shooting 51.4% from the field. That is like big man type efficiency, 45.5% from three-point range, and he's been a plus 12.1 net rating over his last 3 games. He has slid in very, very admirably for Paolo Banchero. Of course, you need some more scoring pop from elsewhere. That's where Franz and Desmond Bane have been able to contribute. Jalen Suggs has been doing a fantastic job as well. And, okay, so you look at the Clippers and where they are coming in tonight. It's kind of similar, Chrissy, if you get caught up in the show, and the show tonight is in the form of James Harden. If you let him get a whole bunch of threes up, if you don't throw different looks at him, force the ball out of his hands at times, and if you let him get to the free throw line, then you'll look up, it'll be the fourth quarter, and this will be a basketball game. He is good enough, and he's playing well enough right now to keep the Clippers in the game single-handedly. You got to watch out for the beard tonight, as I've been saying for the last 12 years whenever we played James Harden.
Yeah, and we were talking to Carlo Jimenez, the voice of the LA Clippers, before this game, and he was saying that he's scoring over 26 points per game right now, and that's the most he's been averaging since 2019-2020 at Houston.
Yeah.
At the age of 36, he's playing like he's 26 right now and putting up just incredible numbers. I believe he had over 40 points earlier this week against the Dallas Mavericks in that double overtime win. So that's somebody that you really got to keep an eye for. But Coach Mosley said it, that it's going to be a lot of focus on James Harden in the same way there was a lot of focus on Curry on Tuesday. But you can't forget about the other guys on the court as well.
Yeah, the Clippers coming in, there's not really any like stats that sort of knock your socks off. They've struggled. Like let's be honest. They're 1-5 away from home, 4-10 on the season. They're in the middle of a long road trip, but they've been resting for 2-3 days now. So You're getting a fresh group, albeit in the middle of a long road trip. You talked the other day about the relative age of this team.
Yes, I did.
James Harden at 36 years old, he's not showing very many signs of slowing, at least not early in the season. We know how important it is for James Harden to play when he's available, which is really refreshing in today's day and age. But the knock on James Harden has always been that he burns out at the end of the season. When they get Kawhi Leonard back, it's obviously going to look very different. The problem is you never quite know when you're going to get Kawhi Leonard back,
Right.
regardless of the injury that he's dealing with. They think it'll be sooner than later, but for right now, James Harden absolutely carrying the scoring load for this team. And so that's your first key, is not just to limit James Harden, keep him off the free throw line if at all possible. When he gets there, he's automatic. He's just like Desmond Bane, 92.2% at the free throw line, and a guy who can get there, 14, 15 times if you're not careful. You keep him right around his average 7, 8 free throw attempts per game. You'll be feeling okay about that. Offensive rebounds going to be another big key tonight, and it feels like it's a big key every night because it's kind of a trend in the league with more teams trending towards getting a whole bunch of threes up. Teams are kind of altering the way that they attack the glass. The big thing with offensive rebounds is when you crash the glass, you have to make sure the guys are leaking out for transition defense. And so a lot of times you're going to have a big like Wendell Carter Jr. or a big like Ivica Zubac who's going to be your designated crasher of the glass. You're going to get your perimeter guys back to try to defend a fast break if that's the case. And that's going to be a huge key here tonight. The two players in the league who get most of their points from second chance points will be on the floor tonight, Wendell Carter Jr. and Ivica Zubac. Zubac grabs 3.5 offensive boards a game, but 28.6% of the points he scores are on putbacks and second chance opportunities. So that's going to be a huge key tonight. You can just sort of see James Harden, dribbling around, getting himself a look, and then you feel like you play great defense. Maybe you double the ball out of his hands. Regardless, once you allow that second chance opportunity, it's a backbreaker, especially for a Magic team who's defending very well right now. You got to limit them. You got to clean up the defensive glass and limit them to one opportunity.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to be looking at James Harden tonight, but that front court battle is going to be so interesting to watch. You talked about Wendell Carter Jr., but you got to think about the depth of the front court as well. Jonathan Isaac, Goga Bitadze. We heard him a little bit earlier today talk about just what he needs to do on the offensive glass to keep this team in it. And he was saying that, he hasn't showed up on the score sheet as much as he's wanted to, but he feels like things are starting to click a little bit together. I mean, we saw it on Tuesday against Golden State. He came in and within a minute, he had himself a block, a rebound, and a basket. And if he can keep that momentum going, it could be really good for that front court to go against this LA Clippers front court.
It's a really good point because as far as the Clippers go, we mentioned Zubac, but then you got John Collins. He can absolutely crash offensive glass. He's a lob threat as well. And so you got to be aware that James Harden's been one of the best at throwing lobs going on a decade now. When you look down the bench, Brook Lopez, we understand the problems he can pose. Not shooting the three, he's at 35%, but he's a good pick and pop player. He'll block shots at one end, and then he can space the floor and knock down threes. When you look down, and then they got Nick Batum coming off the bench as well, and he is a very good player. When you look down our bench, Jonathan Isaac, Goga Bitadze, they've been impacting games defensively, blocking shots, and doing the things on the glass that you ask for. Tyus Jones' breakout game the other night could be a big turning point for the second unit, at least until you get healthy and get Paulo back. You're asking more minutes-wise, scoring-wise from Tristan da Silva and Anthony Black. As I mentioned, those guys have both delivered in that regard. But then your bench is a little bit bare. Then you need some pop as far as who's remaining on the bench. So that is Goga. That is Jonathan Isaac. Tyus Jones needs to be as aggressive as he was the other night, and he just needs to keep shooting. I don't care if he starts 0 for 4 from the field tonight. We need Tyus to be aggressive shooting the basketball. They finally fell for him the other night. We know he's not a 19.1% three-point shooter as he's been so far this year. That water is going to find its level eventually. It looked like it started to turn in the other direction the other night. 8 points, 3 of 3 from the field. We're not talking about, 30 points off the bench. But what Tyus is asked to do is arrange and organize the second unit. And so that just means kind of facilitating, making sure guys are in the right spot. Get a couple assists, don't turn the ball over, and step into open threes. And that was what he was able to do the other night. You could tell after the game, Chrissy, between Jamal Mosley, between everybody else addressing the media, and the reaction that we saw on the Magic bench, it was kind of hanging over their heads as well. Everybody knew Tyus was going to snap out of it, but they were waiting for it to happen. It finally did.
Felt like a little bit of a sense of relief,
yes.
I think, more than anything, especially after Tyus came on and talked to the post-game presser. He just said that it was just nice. It felt good to make those shots. It felt good to see it go into the basket because he had gone a few games without scoring a single point and just not being able to hit those shots. And you said it. Coach Mosley said the teammates cared a lot about him. They wanted him to get back on track, and he was able to do that. Now we'll have to see if he can carry that momentum into tonight's game. But he's still figuring out his role on the team, as many of the players are at this point. Still figuring out the rotations. It's early, but you're starting to see that momentum, that consistency a little bit, and that's what you really want to see at this point in the season.
All right, wait a second. We got a comment here
Yes.
from Prying. He said, Chrissy, I loved your question to Goga earlier. What was your question to Goga earlier?
I was asking about, because Goga Batadze, when he was talking to the media this morning, he kept saying, he was like, I wasn't playing well, I haven't been playing well, and that's what I asked him. I said, well, you went on the court, you were in 2 minutes, you got the block, you got the rebound, and you got the basket.
You gassed him up?
I gassed him up a little bit, because he just seemed so down on himself, and I was like, hey, what is that little high impact moment do for your confidence? And I love what he said. Some fan on the bench down on the court side was talking to him while he was on there, and he said those were the best 2 minutes that I've ever seen from him. And I think that helped him a little bit, maybe try and get out of the slump that he's been in and try and continue that momentum going forward.
I love that. Goga's still 26 years old. It actually feels like he's younger than that. But Goga is still sort of scraping and clawing for his role. And I think it's easy if you're Goga to, play 12 minutes, not feel like maybe you impacted the game, and then let that kind of weigh on your shoulders a little bit. Goga needs to do the Goga things. He needs to get on the floor and rebound. He needs to block shots. And then when he does do things like he did the other night, 3 assists, had a steal in that game, was 3 for 3 from the field in 14 minutes. That's perfect. Like, that's exactly what you're looking for. Make sure you're at least creating a stalemate on the glass as far as the second unit goes. Block a few shots, and that's your role on the team. But that's good stuff. I like that you kind of fixed him a little bit, or at least got his mind in the right spot. That's good stuff. We all love Goga. We all love Goga. Yeah. All right, what's going on? Do we have any comments here that we need to address? Oh, look at that. Hey, Jake, here we go again. Me, my wife, and our 2-month-old baby on the sofa from Naples to Orlando. Go Magic. How about that?
There you go.
And I don't think that's Naples, Florida. I think that's the real Naples.
Naples, Italy?
Naples, Italy.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. But that's kind of cool. We got some graphics down here. Thanks, Fabio. Yeah, Fabio Peluso. That sounds like an actual Naples. We were talking to him earlier in the season, I'm pretty sure. All right, what else do we got? Do we have any comments?
A couple of things on
here?
TikTok.
Coach Mosley's going to be talking here in just a moment. We'll go live down to the interview room. Anyways, go ahead.
A couple people on TikTok just talking about the bench and the depth on this team. A couple people asking if Paulo Banchero's playing. He's not playing tonight. He's still recovering from that what was it, groin? I believe. Yeah.
Yes, groin.
The groin. So this will be his 4th game out, but that's why we've been talking about the bench so much in the depth. Who's going to be able to step up next?
All right, does that sound like Jamal Mosley? I think we've got Coach Mosley down in the interview room, or we will momentarily. I just heard somebody adjust down there. We'll toss it down there as soon as we get him. Let's talk about Anthony Black real quick. 21 points the other night. He was 8 of 13 from the field. The Houston game 2 nights ago, he was 7 of 14 from the field. So you're talking about the last 2 nights shooting like right around 50% from the field, giving you about 20 points off the bench. And within the starting lineup on Sunday, 5 of 7 at the free throw line. The other night, he has been attacking the basket. You know how good he is in the open floor. We talk so much about Anthony Black being aggressive, but he has been aggressive, and he's done it within the flow of the offense the past couple games. And when you talk about, being able to withstand a couple games out for Paulo Banchero, Jalen missing on Sunday, having Anthony Black is such a luxury for Coach Mosley to be able to bring him off the bench, to be able to slide him into different roles. He can play the 1, 2, or 3. He can guard the 1, 2, or 3. He has been like a Swiss Army knife for Jamal Mosley so far this year, and it's just invaluable over the course of a long season. Oh, not to mention he's still 21 years old. He's just scratching the surface of how good he could potentially be. I think we're seeing.
Coach, your group's won 4 of its last 5, 7 of its last 10 overall. As you look at those stretch, where have you seen the biggest progress and steady growth from your group?
I would look at the defensive end. Our guys are doing a great job of, buying into what we're asking for with the game plan of each game, being different, obviously the opponents, but buying into what we're asking them to do in those moments, and that defense being able to lead to our offense, getting out and running, sharing and moving the basketball the right way.
Where is Mo in his recovery stage, and what's next for him?
Mo's is able to get on the court a little bit more active, not fully just bumping yet with pure contact, but being able to move a little bit more.
What's next for him?
I think the next phase is probably getting to try to get some one-on-ones at some point, getting the contact against other bigger bodies. I think that may be the next phase for him.
Jamal, you addressed this earlier, but how do you assess your half-court defense right now? in terms of what it's doing well and the areas that you would like it to improve?
I think where we're doing a better job is we're being able to finish out possessions, rebounding the ball. Where I'd like to see areas of improvement, and it's throughout the league, is can we do a better job defending without fouling? I think that's up in the league as is, but I think we can continue to improve in that area.
We talked a little bit about this morning, but over the last 10 games, I think you guys are playing at 4 fewer possessions per 48 minutes than you did the first 5 games, and that's a pretty big gap, but you're still getting out in transition. How do you find, how has this team kind of found the right tempo to the way that you guys play in the half court and kind of finding the balance with it, adding in more transition plays?
Well, it goes back to what I was saying before about, the pace. I think what it stemmed from was our defense creates our offense, and we have to learn how to run in order to convert. And I think you saw some of that, in the Golden State game, where it was our stops that allowed us to get out on the break for 28 fast break points. And so that's the key theme, is that our defense creates the offense for us, and we've got to learn to convert on the other end, whether that's pushing it and finishing at the rim or being able to take that quick first three that you see with your feet set. I think those are priorities that we look at, and our ability to accomplish that.
How you doing today, Coach?
What's happening?
Do you think there's a trend around the league with the pace of play, with quicker substitution patterns, where guys are getting gassed a little quicker because maybe the modern pace of play, the physicality, the speed is a little more intense when they're on the court, so they might have to play a little harder when they're on there and get more breathers in between?
I can't speak for substitution patterns, but I can speak for the pace of play. It is up in the league this year. I mean, it's up, I think, 4 points from last year, and that's just all around the league. So it's not just us, not just other teams, our opponents, from the other night. But the pace of play is up. Substitution patterns, I can't speak on that one.
Jamal, I think y'all are best team in the league getting to the free throw line as far as the free throw attempt rate. Like, what goes into that, and how do you maintain that even without Paolo being available?
I think you focus on touching the paint. I think that is a big theme of ours, is just making sure we're getting downhill, because some of our best shots come after that ball has hit the paint. And, I think our guys do a great job, whether it's how we screen, the angles of the screen, but being able to provide a lane for our guys to get downhill with the proper spacing. And then you just got to attack the basket. You're either finishing or you're getting fouled. And if you put 2 on the ball, you got to spray out for 3s. So trying to get to that lane as much as possible.
Everyone good? All right.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back, I think. Jake Chapman, Chrissy Birdsall here with you. We're up on the radio deck. We just heard from Magic head coach Jamal Mosley. And did we get cut off before on the way down? Prying says
I think so.
We did. It's okay. People need to hear from Jamal Mosley, and we're trying to coordinate the toss down to coach. I asked him if he would wait until we were done making our point to begin his press conference, and that was a no dice. So we'll have to figure it out. But here we are, as we get set for the Los Angeles Clippers. Jake Chapman and Chrissy Birdsall here with you. You can check us out our broadcast tonight in about an hour 9 minutes. We're going to be on FM 104.5 tonight in the Central Florida area, FM 104.5, beginning at 6:30, the pregame show with Brandon Kravitz. You can always stream us on the iHeart app and the Orlando Magic app if you're outside of the listening area, like our friend Fabio in Naples, Italy. Then you can listen on Sirius, and you can also always check us out on NBA League Audio Pass as well. Did you glean anything from Coach Mosley's pregame press conference based on the incredible line of questioning? I
think just kind of, he emphasized a lot of things that we've heard over the last week, and the one thing that I underlined, circled, was the defending without fouling, because this team, the Magic, at least one of the best things they've been able to do is get to the free throw line, and that was the last question, was getting into the paint, getting downhill, and getting those buckets. But they also have to, on the other side, make sure that they're staying composed, not getting caught up in the James Harden show, and keeping themselves without fouling and getting good defensive stops as well.
Yeah, it's a hallmark of our team, and it's like a pretty remarkable hallmark of our team. To get to the free throw line with the frequency that the Magic have so far this year, especially to continue it over the last couple of games, like the questioner asked, without Paolo Banchero, is insane. Like, the Magic are shooting almost 32 free throws a night, and they're making over 25. That is that's a quarter of 100 points that are coming free, that you're getting at the free throw line. It can gloss over a whole lot of mistakes offensively, and it's just it's a bedrock. It's a foundation that you have night in and night out. And it's not just Paolo, obviously. It's Franz Wagner. It's Jalen. Anthony Black has been at the free throw line the past couple of nights. But, and I asked Jamal Mosley this morning, you can hear it in the pregame show, what it does is because we get to the free throw line so often, when we have those games where we can't keep opposing teams off the free throw line, there's zero rhythm in the game whatsoever.
Yep.
So it's almost like double important for us to defend without fouling. Obviously, you're making it easy on opposing teams if you put, a player like James Harden or Jimmy Butler the other night on the free throw line, trip after trip down the floor. But because we're always at the free throw line, it can eliminate any rhythm from the game whatsoever. So I think it's important just for your offensive rhythm and the flow of the game to figure out a way to keep opposing teams off the free throw line. I know it's something that Coach Mosley emphasizes. All coaches do, but it feels like it's doubly important for us. And that is, I think, a way tonight for the Clippers to stay in the basketball game. I mentioned James Harden getting to the free throw line. It's not something the Clippers have done particularly well. They are 25th, I think, in the league in free throw attempts, right about 23.5 per game. But between Harden and some of the other guys headed down the bench, Nicholas Batum, Chris Paul, Bogdanovich, there are guys who, when they get there, they'll knock them down. And so certainly very important to try to limit that. They're third in the league in free throw percentage at 83.3%. It's an easy way to keep teams in games, especially a team like the Clippers, a veteran group who are trying to figure out ways right now to just kind of bide their time until they get healthy, get Kawhi Leonard back out there, and then they will go from there. Jake Chapman, Chrissy Birdsall here with you. We got about 5 more minutes with you guys. Do we have any comments coming in that look like they need addressing?
There's one thing that somebody said right before Coach Mosley talked and said, can we talk about how Coach has been very supportive of this group no matter what? And I kind of want to hit on this a little bit because he talked about it after the game on Tuesday. It was Wendell Carter Jr., I believe, when he said it was a bounce-back game. He said the identity of this team was really starting to form. The defense first, and then let the offense take care of itself. And I think that's all goes back to that Coach Mosley talking about the process of this team, that it's not about just the results, it's the process, getting these early mistakes out of the way so you're playing your best basketball as the season goes on. And I just like that comment because I think that really emphasized what we've been hearing from Coach and the crew.
Yeah, it's easy to forget it's a young team. And Jamal Mosley has, and it was really easy for some of you guys at the beginning of the year to remember 5 seasons ago, when Jamal Mosley took over and what this thing looked like. And part of the reason that we have expectations right now, and part of the reason that you mortgaged the future for a player like Desmond Bane and said, we're ready to take the next step right now, is because Jamal Mosley has built this thing from a pup. He has nurtured it. He planted those seeds. We were ringing the bell in the Magic practice facility whenever, by the way, that's a reference to, he actually installed a bell, and during his first and second season, whenever they would make hustle plays in practice, he would ring the bell. He would make bell-ringing plays. It's one of those ploys that you do when you've got a young ball of clay type of team and you're trying to get a team from 22 wins to where you are now, anticipating a third consecutive trip to the Eastern Conference playoffs. And so I think Jamal Mosley has been the perfect sort of shepherd over the course of the last 5 seasons. But now you get to a point where there are expectations and where you can't abide the same mistakes night in and night out, and where you need to sort of hold all of your guys to a higher standard. And that could be kind of tricky. And I think Jamal's done it masterfully. As the players in the group grew, Jamal grew with them. And I think he's now at a point where he's earned their trust. He can have hard conversations with them if he needs to. And it's pretty clear cut, like the expectations for each guy on down the line. And if you don't meet those expectations, there are other players who will take your minutes from you. So I think Jamal's done a fantastic job of being supportive, of being behind his players, sticking up for them at all times, especially when he's dealing with the media, because that can get tricky when you have expectations, but also of holding them accountable. And you only do that with a lot of trust, and you only do that putting the time in, detailing your work, and committing yourself the way Jamal Mosley has. You can only ask as much from your players as you're giving yourself. And anytime you and I have been at the track training facility early in the morning doing a stream or whatever, even on a day off, Coach Mosley's in his office getting his work in, and that's just the type of guy that he is.
I learn something new every day. Now I know what that bell is there for because I walk past it every game day at shoot around, and I've always wondered, and I wanted to ask, but thank you for clarifying that for me. And I think that's all about that process. It takes a couple of years to build things out, but now your players are older. You add in pieces like Desmond Bain. You got Anthony Black and Tristan Da Silva finally growing into the roles that they have, and now it's just putting all the pieces together. Instead of building that process, now you can be aggressive with it as well.
And I think it's a good point about bringing in guys like Desmond Bain and also Tyus Jones, because we heard the other night a little bit about Tyus and his relationship and impact on Anthony Black. You know, there's a reason the DAP heard round the world when Coach Mosley and Desmond Bain met over the summer, and I think Jamal Mosley was more excited than anybody that Desmond Bain was a member of the Orlando Magic. You don't need to use any of that stuff when you bring in Desmond Bain and Tyus Jones. Those are vets. Those guys come with their own proven track record. It's not a matter of bending anything to fit them or trying to fit them in. They come and you know exactly what you're getting when you bring in a Desmond Bain and a Tyus Jones. And so I think that made all of that stuff makes Jamal Mosley's job a lot easier on him. And, yeah, there were some growing pains early on in the season, but just imagine where we'd be, you know, just over the last 2 weeks without Desmond Bain, the way he has been playing. Obviously the game winner in the Portland game, but last 5 games, talking about 22.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists as well. And, oh, by the way, the three-point percentage up over 31% now over the last 5, 34.5% from three-point range. That's creeping up. And he's money at the free throw line as well. He's made 24 straight at the free throw line. So big matchup here tonight. The Clippers come in 4-10. I'm telling you, I'm a little bit nervous. They have proven veterans, and we're riding high off a win against the Golden State Warriors. We got to go out tonight, take care of business. Can't look forward to the Knicks. Can't look back to the Warriors. Got to deal with the Beard and the Clippers right in front of you here tonight, and I think it's going to be a pretty good basketball game. So make sure you lock us in. We'll have the pregame show beginning at 6:30 on FM 104.5 here in Central Florida. You can always stream us on the Orlando Magic app, on the iHeart app as well, outside of the listening area on Sirius XM and on NBA League Audio Pass. For Chrissy, I'm Jake. Magic and the Clippers coming up in an hour on the radio and streaming. We'll send you down to the floor. Go Magic.
Oh, okay, hello everybody. How's it going? What's up? And happy game day. We are here on the court at the Kia Center and seeing the guys warming up. Who are you guys watching get warmed up? I think we just saw Suggs. Super, super cool. But I am so excited to be here with you today. My name is Marley Arnold. I've been having so much fun just talking with everybody on the court, seeing the energy. So many people are here already, and the vibes are looking good today, guys. So thanks for tuning in wherever you're watching from. We have Twitch, X, YouTube, TikTok. Comment down where you're watching from because I'd love to know, and I'll be responding to your comments today in the chat, guys. So what's up? Yes, hello everybody. If you're locked in with this stream, comment a little blue heart emoji so I know you're here. Everyone's feeling really confident, very confident. Yeah, so we have a lot planned for this stream today. We are going to be doing trivia. We have a gift card for whoever gets all the questions right. It's a $10 gift card that you can spend at our team store to get super, super cool merch. So let's head out and let's try to find someone for trivia, guys. Come on. Let's go, let's go. Which way should we go? This way or this way, chat? This way. Let's go this way. All right, but yeah, literally so many people are here already. Guys, I say it every time, but literally last time I said it, guys, we won against the Warriors. I said that we're gonna win. I feel the vibes, and it's always right. So guess what, guys? I'm gonna say it again today. I feel the vibes, and I think we're gonna catch that W. I think we will. What do you guys think? Let me know, let me know. Let's see. Oh, easy W, yeah. You guys know what's up. You guys know what's up. But like I said, we are heading over to someplace really, really cool that you're gonna see very, very soon, and I'm excited to go there. And we'll also be playing a little trivia in the meantime. So who's excited for trivia? Oh, you guys, a lot of Orlando Magic songs chanting in the chat, and I'd love to see it. Oh, someone said if I were to play trivia, I'd get it all right. Chat to play. They're super duper excited. If you're watching, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button really quickly, really easily. You want to tune in because we just have a lot of cool Magic content that we're going to be releasing, and you don't want to miss out on things like this, guys. Yeah, I'm really excited for today. It's Magic versus win. Of your comments. Let's see what we got on TikTok. Let's see. Trivia, fun. W, yes, we're winning. I love this. LOL. I love you, girl. Okay, bet. You guys are ready. You are ready for trivia. Someone said they love my fit. Hey, I always wear the blue for Magic. I got my jersey on today. I'm feeling confident, guys. Really, really confident. Yeah, you guys are really excited for the trivia. I'm excited too. Last time, you guys said I went too easy on the trivia. Everyone in the comments was like, oh, it's too easy. But I think we spiced it up a little bit today, guys. It's a bit harder, so we're gonna see who really knows their Magic knowledge. Very, very excited. Hello, everybody just joining. Welcome, welcome. Guys, who's feeling confident for tonight? Give me a score prediction. All right, guys, here we are. We are at Tavern on Church, which is a restaurant. Let's go inside, guys, shall we? Yeah. Thank you. Yes, so this is a super duper cool place that I've been wanting to show you guys. Everybody's already in here. Drinks and the nice porch, little look around. vibes of being at
profit. Love it how I break it down just like that. Love it how I run the town just like that. Love it how I break it down just like that. Love it how I run the town just like that. Who said they could top me? Step in the place, I steal the show.
For Kendra Douglas. So excited to be back here at the Kia Center tonight. You're going to go look at the City Court, which is awesome in my opinion. I love the old school Magic logo. But tonight, the Magic take on the Los Angeles Clippers, a game you can catch on FanDuel Sports Network. All of the action begins at 6:30 with their pregame show. They're going to get you right up to tip-off at 7 p.m. You can also watch that on the FanDuel Sports Network app as well. And this is an exciting night for the Magic. Orlando really building some momentum after what was a really exciting game on Tuesday night, a bounce back win for the Magic, especially when you look back at Sunday night's loss to the Houston Rockets, an overtime loss that the Magic really felt like they should have won. They wanted to focus on the little details coming in, and they did exactly that. This is an example of balanced basketball at its best. Yes, Steph Curry hit some big-time shots, but the Magic did too, and they did it by getting into the paint. Love the dunk from Goga right there. Only 8 3-pointers in the game, but the Magic very efficient in the paint, like I said. 64 points there, 28 in the fast break. You want to see the Magic using their defense to fuel their offense. Head coach Jamal Mosley said they didn't get sucked in by the show that is Steph Curry, and he is the show. He's incredible to watch, obviously a future first ballot Hall of Famer, and you have Jimmy Butler as well, who added a great performance in the second half, but the Magic didn't get sucked into that. They let the Warriors kind of go on their runs, and then they fought back. They were the aggressors all night long, and that's really what you want to see. We're going to take a look at second half highlights as well. The Magic able to close this one out in the end, 121 to 113. And Coach Mosley said it again today pregame. He wanted to see the Magic play complete basketball. That's what you saw. You look at the stat line. I mean, the main difference I'm looking at is the rebounding performance, 51 to 4. That is incredible. 28 assists, field goal percentage. They shot pretty similarly, but the defense was really the star of the show. The Magic disrupting passing lanes, getting those steals, and then getting out in transition. That is Magic basketball at its best, and that is what we saw on Tuesday night against the Warriors. And that's what a lot of the comments have been like as I'm looking at them right now. I mean, I think they're going to be able to limit Harden's impact tonight. We're going to get to that. But the comment there is the defense is so special, and a defensive identity is exactly what Magic basketball is. We saw that last year, and then injuries sort of hampered what they were able to do offensively. Now, as the Magic are finding their rhythm, getting that chemistry with some of the new players they're bringing in, like Desmond Bane, they're also starting to get back to defense and then allow that to fuel their offense. And they're doing it without Paolo Banchero right now, who is still out tonight dealing with that groin injury. The key pieces around him are really stepping up. Of course, it starts with the masked man, but then you look at the players around him. Jalen Suggs coming in, getting healthier, getting his minutes up, and leading the tone defensively. Desmond Bane providing a huge spark to that starting unit with his playmaking, his shot making. I mean, Bane was brought in to be a shooter, but he has been that and more to this team. He has this defense first sort of dog mentality. I think the crowd loves it when he kind of talks a little bit on the court because he adds to that swagger that the Magic have. He's getting it done in the paint, as you're seeing there, and he's not afraid to knock down, shots from the corner as well. Of course, that's what he's come to be known for in the league. You see it right here. This is the shot I'm talking about, the step down swagger. Jalen Suggs told me that he wanted to see the Magic play with some attitude. I think Desmond Bane is the epitome of that. This is the stat line from Tuesday night against the Warriors. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 43% from the field. He is leading the tone offensively. I talked with him earlier this week at practice, and he told me, it took a little while to sort of find his rhythm here. It was all new for him. This is a new scheme, a new city, a new team. He's taking on a little bit of a different role where there's a lot of responsibility being put on him now, especially with Paolo being out. Him and Franz are being called upon to be the main shot makers of this starting five, but he has really stood up to the challenge, and I think that's been inspiring to see. It's really adding to the offensive spark that we're seeing. But what we also wanted to see from the Magic was their bench production. I mean, that is huge. That is a difference maker in this league, and the one player that has really caught mine, Magic fans, and I think Coach Mosley's attention as well, is Anthony Black, taking another huge step forward in this year. He was huge as well on Tuesday night. He felt like he left a win at the foul line against Houston. Well, he redeemed himself on Tuesday. I mean, he was fun to watch, wasn't he, guys? Just the aggressor. That's what Coach Mosley has been wanting to see from Anthony Black as he gets older, more experience, as he's taking on more responsibility, attacking the paint, attacking the rim, being the aggressor defensively, and getting out in transition, finishing with the dunks that inspired this crowd to get up and out of their seats. Finished with a season high 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, shot an incredible 61% from the field. He has been a huge spark for this team. All around scoring and playmaking has improved. He has stepped up tremendously. And again, that's what you want to see, the bench stepping up so that the starters don't have to be the stars of the show for the entire game. They can get a chance to come out and you're not going to be worried about who's stepping in their place. Someone who can be that spark plug. Anthony Black has really been that and more this season, and he's going to be called upon in more ways, especially when you look at tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers. The Magic looking to continue the momentum that they found over the last 5 games. They've won 4 out of the last 5, and again, I think they probably could feel like they left that one in Houston on the table. Really should be 5 for 5 coming into tonight. But another tough challenge here at the Kia Center as you welcome in the Los Angeles Clippers. I want you to be able to listen to a couple of the guys talking at shoot-around today about what they expect from this matchup.
I mean, obviously, it starts with James Harden. He's playing some great basketball right now. You know, their record doesn't reflect it, but they've been in all the close games. They've got a nice little road trip coming up, but he's doing a great job playing great basketball for them. So just, you know, limiting him, seeing different coverages, we're going to have to do that, but also not allowing the others to get going as well.
Yeah, just got to be active, you know, in the pick and roll, you know, active hands, and show your hands, not give him easy free throws because he's a great free throw shooter and just in general great player. So we just got to be locked in, know what he does best, and, you know, just got to know KYP. Around him, there's great players, so we can't let them, you know, affect the game. So just got to stay locked into what we do, play defense, and we're going to win the game.
I think everybody knows it starts with James Harden. So it's gonna be a team effort, multiple guys, multiple coverages that we're gonna need tonight, and try to play our game, impose our will, defense to run, play fast, and play together. I feel like we've been doing a really good job sharing the ball and knocking down open shots. So we gotta continue to do that.
Because we are being joined by the second member of our team, Dan Savage. Dan, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. It's another day of Magic basketball, and it's good to have you back on the show.
Yes, it's always fun to be here with you. It's always fun to talk Magic basketball. Tonight, the Magic welcome a Western Conference foe in the Los Angeles Clippers. What excites you most about this matchup?
Well, that guy shooting right behind us is an exciting thing to watch. James Harden, this far into his career, 11-time All-Star, still one of the most tough covers in the NBA. Because he challenges. Yes, I am. No, not every day you get acknowledgement from that, but I've been covering that guy since he was in Summer League.
Wow.
And the way he's elevated his game year after year and continue to evolve as a player is something that, you know, NBA players around the league really try to study, because he not only has figured out how to score in this league, but the nuances of the rules behind it and how he can manipulate that and how he could find ways to score because of that. And that's why, you know, this far into his career, he's still a top 15 player in scoring, still a top 10 player in terms of assists. He's just dangerous all around, and that's why we talk about gravity in this league and attention. He draws so much of it because of his ability to do all of those things.
Yeah, it's so impressive to watch year after year, just the efficiency that Harden has shown in this league that is just so hard to keep up, right? I mean, you see it on the screen right there, averaging 26 points per game this season, over 6 boards, 8 assists, shooting 43% from the field. And I think over the last 3 games, he's been even more impressive. I think the average is closer to 36 points per game over the last 3 games. So, I mean, when you think about disrupting that type of production. What type of challenge is that for the Magic, and how do you do it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It really takes all 5 guys on defense because he's going to put you in pick and roll situations. He's going to go into isolation at times, and he's going to read and react. He's not a guy who's just going to go into a play with a predetermined outcome. He really tries to get the flow, see where you go off balance. If you reach, I teach, so to speak. He has a lot of those elements to his game, and it's a lot of read and react for him. So he's one of the hard guys to play because he doesn't necessarily go into the play with a predetermined outcome. So a tough cover, you really have to be on point with your defensive coverages and not just the guy on the ball, all 5 guys. So whether that's the big, attacking a screen at a certain angle, dropping when required, allowing your man to get through, all of those things are so important to the coverage, unlike some of the other players in the NBA. With James Harden, it really takes all 5 guys being dialed in to the nuances of the defense on any given play.
Well, and it's interesting that the Magic faced the Clippers and James Harden just 2 days removed from facing Steph Curry, and the Warriors is a very similar player. Like you're talking about Steph Curry, someone who's the epitome of efficiency in this league, someone that does take all 5 guys, sort of disrupting him. So how does that experience carry over? Is it almost a positive that you saw what the Magic did, even though Steph Curry got hot? But they still won the game.
Yeah, see, Steph's different in the fact that he does a lot of his coming off screens, and you're having to pay so close attention to where the screens are coming from and where the product of those screens is going to result in. With Harden, it's more isolation, one-on-one type of basketball with pick and rolls and that type of coverage. But where you're exactly right and spot on is it requires you to be so dialed into the game plan and with the nuances of the coverage, knowing your personnel. And a lot of guys during shoot-around talked about the importance of that because it's so imperative tonight, just as it was against Golden State.
Yeah, and of course, Harden, not the only playmaker that is on the Clippers roster. I think he's still shooting free throws right now, but Zubac, I mean, a menace in the paint inside, at the rim, at the glass. And so when you look at him and what he brings to the Clippers, what stands out to you?
He is just such a physical player. And you look at year after year, he's been a nightmare for the Magic at times because he attacks the offensive glass. He does all the things that you talk about, the little details in the game. He wins those battles. So it just comes down to him being more physical. And that's a lot easier said than done when dealing with that behemoth, so to speak.
But you talk about physicality, and that fits right into the Magic's MO, right? I think I want to talk specifically about the improvements that they've shown defensively. I mean, setting the tone physically, being the aggressors. How have you seen them take steps forward, especially over this last 5-game stretch? Because I think we're really starting to see things fall into place right now.
You had a few new pieces being worked into the starting lineup, whether that's Desmond Bane, whether it's Tyus Jones, whether that's different pairings and groupings together, whether that's Jalen Suggs, who's been in and out of the lineup, and also coming back from injury. You have to remember he didn't play in the preseason, and so there was hard to build all that chemistry. And I think as guys have gotten into their flow, as they've figured out when to push the pace, when not to, that's really allowed them to ratchet up their defensive coverages. And I think they've also done a better job of defending without fouling at times, which really helps your defense going forward. So there's been a lot of factors in that, and I think the Magic have made steady progress in all those areas, which has allowed them to play so well defensively.
You mentioned a couple of the ways that the Magic have stepped forward. Something that has really caught my eye is their response to some of the adversity that they faced over just this last week. I mean, I keep going back to the Houston Rockets loss and the way this team wasn't discouraged by that, because, I mean, that's a tough loss, losing in overtime in Houston in a game that I do think they felt like they should have closed out and won that game coming back. But when you look at the way they responded, that's growth for this team.
I mean, you want to talk about an area, right? You look at that game against Houston, what it come down to? Probably missing a couple clutch free throws. And how did the Magic respond to that? They knocked down their first 22 free throws of the game. So you want to talk about a direct response and growth area. Their head coach challenged them to knock down their free throws, and they did that exactly all night long. So you have to love the growth the Magic showed game to game.
It's all about the little details, right?
Correct.
The little details of the game. That also includes, I mean, the menaces that the Magic were at the glass. They rebounded. I don't remember the exact stat line, but they definitely, rebounding was a focus for this team as well.
No question. They patrolled the paint. They controlled that area. They outscored Golden State 64-46 in that area. In terms of fast break points, they were the victors 28-14. And you talk about some areas you want to be able to beat a team that's so effective from beyond the arc. You got to win the math game, and the Magic did it by getting downhill and being more aggressive.
One of the comments that I think is impressive here, and I agree, is telling them not to get caught up in the spectacle of players like Curry and Harden.
Oh, yeah.
The quote line from Jamal Mosley was, they didn't get sucked into the show. They have another show here tonight. But is it difficult not to get sucked into the show? I mean, I know it's just one player, and you're thinking one player out of the starting five, but Curry and Harden, I mean, back-to-back is a tough go.
Look, the Magic are the 5th youngest team in the league. So while players that I grew up watching, maybe like Michael Jordan, players that they grew up watching were Steph Curry, LeBron James, James Harden. So it's real, easy to start looking and, Harden plays an isolation game. It's almost hypnotic in a way. You see him dribble, feel out, and you just get caught up into looking into what he's doing that you miss your man back cutting to the basket. So, yes, there is an element to that for these young guys of not getting caught up in it. But I think they have enough, seasoning now that they won't do it. As we saw with Steph Curry, he got hot early, but the Magic caught themselves. They didn't get caught up in the show, and they were able to tame him down in the second half and pull away with the victory, and I expect him to do the same thing tonight.
James Harden, of course, the key point in this Clippers offense. He's going to be the star of the show. But you look at tonight's matchup this season, I mean, very similar numbers-wise, but what are the key differences between these two teams? What does each excel in?
No, I think for the Magic, what you look at a team excelling at is their defensive identity is growing, and over their stretch where they're playing such good basketball, they've been top 10 offensively and defensively as well, and they really allow their offense to fuel their defense. The Clippers right now are a little bit more isolation, a little bit more post-up, and they're relying on two guys in Harden and Zubats to really have success, while other guys like Kawhi and Bradley Beal are in and out of the lineup. So the Clippers are still trying to find themselves, dropping 8 of their last 9 games, whereas the Magic, on the other hand, have started to really fall into their identity and have success with it.
And one of the biggest differences, I think, in that stat that you just looked at in the graphic was the points, second chance points.
Yeah.
The Magic, that's hustle plays, right? That's the Magic getting up, getting after it, and not letting those possessions go to waste. That's part of Magic basketball: effort, hustle, aggression, and we've definitely seen that throughout the course of this season so far.
No question. It's an area that they've started to ratchet up in. And where the Clippers, you do have to give them credit, is they're one of the best teams in the NBA at making their free throws, best free throw percentage in the NBA. So they can find ways to win in the margins, and they're not a team you want to be in a close basketball game with, because if it comes down the stretch, so much of the late fourth quarter game is half-court play and slowing things down, and that's where a player like James Harden excels. That's where offensive rebounds and second chance points can become so big, and having a guy like Zubats down there is a threat. And that's where coming down and making your free throws is so huge. So for the Orlando Magic, you want to get up early and really put your foot on their throat, take them out of the game, rather than coming down to a last-second battle.
And I do want to talk about the key matchup of the game. I think everyone knows who it is on the Clippers side. Of course, the beard, James Harden. But a player that I'm excited to see him go up against is Desmond Bane. I mean, I think last game really showed a lot of Magic fans what he's capable of on both ends of the floor. I love the swagger that he brings defensively, not afraid to go up against anybody in this league. And then he's knocking down shots and stepping up, especially with Paolo Banchero out.
No, you look over the last 4 or 5 games, Desmond Bane has elevated his scoring average over 20 points per game. He's really starting to play make as well, which has been so huge with Paolo out. His assist numbers have continued to go up, not turning the ball over. And what I think we've really seen with him is, look, teams are trying to take the three-point shot away from him, and he is not letting that deter him from scoring. He's going downhill. He's finding a lot of scoop shots around the basket, and he's found ways to impact the game. And you talk about a Magic team having to play without one of its star players. It's become a lot easier this time around, as Tristan Da Silva said, in huge part because Desmond Bane just gives them another creator, another playmaker to help them survive while Paolo recovers and gets back.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how he continues that sort of momentum we've seen from Bane tonight. But, of course, This is Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. The point is for us to interact with the fans. I do want to read some of their comments. This one says, can we talk about how coach has been supportive of our group no matter what? Guys, of course. He's the head coach. Come on. But, I mean, I do agree. There was no worry from Jamal Mosley, but there was a sense of keeping them accountable. We did see him upset at some of their losses, and I think rightly so. There's small details that I think he really wanted this team to play better in some moments, but he's challenged them and been supportive along the way.
Look, in my opinion, I've been around a lot of head coaches through my course with the Magic and time in the NBA. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better head coach with helping his team handle adversity than Magic head coach Jamal Mosley. When you look back at the job they did last season, Jalen Suggs goes out, Paolo Banchero goes out, Franz Wagner goes out. Those are your top 3 players. And still, you found a way with extended absences for all 3 of those guys, Mo Wagner additionally, to find your way back to 500 and get into the playoffs. When you look at quality of player lost in those metrics, the Magic were right up there with the Philadelphia 76ers and New Orleans Pelicans. They were right there with them in terms of those metrics. And where did the Pelicans and Sixers end up? At the top of the lottery. So to me, that says everything about your head coach here in Orlando and how good of a job he does. So to me, Mose is better at handling adversity with the team than just about any head coach in the NBA.
Yeah, and you can see the connection, of course, he does have with his players. You see it in practice. You see it out here at games. So, yes, very supportive of this team and the growing trajectory that they've been on. But, Dan, as we look at tonight's game again against the Los Angeles Clippers, what are your 3 top storylines we should be paying attention to?
Well, I'm going to give a shout-out to producer Dewberry, producer Maria, the whole crew, and you, because we touched on a lot of these things.
Woo!
Number 1, all eyes on Harden. It takes all 5 guys guarding him and knowing where to be on the court in order to slow this Clippers down. His usage rate's high. It will be again tonight. 2, keep Zubac off the glass. When the Clippers have had the Magic's number, it's because that guy has dominated in terms of second chance points and putting up close to 20 rebounds. You can't have that tonight, and that's going to take a group effort as well. It's not just on Wendell Carter Jr. and Goga Batadze. It takes other guys diving in and getting those rebounds. And then remain the aggressors, where the Magic were so good against Golden State and some of these other teams, even in the Houston loss, was they came out and threw the first punch, got up early, and remained aggressive. And that's what's going to take tonight, and you're going to have to rely on guys like Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, the point guards and backup point guards to really set the tone, because they're the on-ball defenders. They're the guys getting into the ball defensively and also controlling it offensively. It's going to be up to those guys to set the tone, give the Magic an early lead, and never look back tonight against this Clippers team.
Yeah, and I like what you said at the end there. I mean, of course, you want to set the tone. You want to go out and be the aggressors, but you want to do that because this is a team that is very capable of coming back, going on runs. Of course, we talked about the stars that the Clippers have. I mean, I do expect them to still put on a show, but it's how can the Magic go out there, like you said, be the aggressor early, but sustain that type of energy through all 4 frames of this game.
No question, and that's obviously easier said than done. There's up and down this league. Talented players, as we've seen, that are capable of going on runs. But I think for the Orlando Magic, if they play the brand of basketball that they've been doing here at home, especially at Kia Center against this team right now with the Clippers that's still trying to find some additional guys to step up besides Harden, Zubac, etc., with Kawhi and Beal out, I think they're perfectly positioned if they play their game to come up with an early lead and never look back against this Clippers team.
Yeah, and I want to get to some more of your comments. One of them, there's a lot about Mo Wagner, a lot of questions about when are we going to get Mo back? When are we going to get Mo back? Everyone's wondering it. We did hear from Coach Mosley pregame, kind of an update on how Mo is doing. He's able to get out on the court, get some shots up, still not doing one-on-one work. But when you think about the injury that Mo Wagner had, it's a long process getting back, and I think we all have to take a deep breath and remember that they're not going to rush Mo back, and he's still providing a spark on the bench for this team.
No question. Mo is a guy who's going to find a way to be involved, whether or not he's on or off the court. He makes his presence felt. What you're liking is that he's making steady progress. So I think for Mo, it's a little too soon out to determine an exact date. As he, responds and gets closer to one-on-one work and doing contact, then you could start to get a better gauge of what the timeline might look like.
Another name that's being brought up a lot in the comments, we talked about Anthony Black and the spark plug that he's been off the bench, but I do want to talk about Tristan Da Silva. This one says, guys, am I wrong to say Tristan right now should deserve the most improved player award? I don't think you're wrong. I mean, he really has taken huge strides forward this season. He got called upon last year when injuries when the Magic were sort of injury riddled. We saw flashes of what he can do, but this year, I mean, leaps and bounds over what we saw last season.
No, what you want to see players provide in their second year is those flashes that you saw in the first year. You want them to be more consistent in year two. And Tristan has done that and some with the way that he's shooting the basketball, scoring at a great rate. He's become one of their best three-point shooters. His relocation shooting has been fantastic. And he's been consistent, whether he's coming off the bench or being inserted in the starting lineup. He's been a huge boost for this Magic team.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about it in previous shows. A lot of it does go back to the experience he got over the summer, playing with Team Germany and winning with Team Germany. I mean, I think getting that confidence and knowing what you can do at that level, it's really translated well to what we've seen him do on this court.
Yeah, and there's no player that should have a better conditioning level because he prepped for Summer League and, played in that and was over there in Vegas doing workouts with those guys. Then as soon as that ended, he went into training camp for Eurobasket, played in that, and then came into the Magic's training camp, played in the preseason and regular season. So there's no guy whose conditioning has been more prepared for this season than Tristan Da Silva.
Perhaps our question to him every night should be, aren't you tired? Because I can't even imagine.
I was tired from covering it, and I didn't play in the games. But I did have to cover Summer League and Eurobasket, so he kept me working.
And this is why we're sitting here and not out there on the court like Tristan. But I do agree, it's been really impressive to see. This has been one of the things I've loved watching, how the players around what was the core three last year have really stepped up. Of course, like Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, and Paolo Banchero, but the playmakers around them have stepped up tremendously.
No, and you talk about two guys who coming into the season could be X factors for the Magic. In addition to Wendell Carter Jr., there were Anthony Black and Tristan Da Silva. And all three of those guys have really elevated their play this season. And I think when you look at the Magic's success rate over the last 10 games, you could attribute stretches to all three of those guys, whether it's been Wendell's versatility on defense and rim presence, whether it's been Anthony Black's aggressiveness on both ends, or Tristan Da Silva providing a scoring punch in stretches and also stepping up his defensive game. You could give a lot of credit to those three guys for the success the Magic have had over the last 10 games.
And the Magic are going to look to continue that success, of course, tonight. But with their upcoming schedule, this, of course, the second game of a three-game homestand. Next, they'll take on the New York Knicks at home on Saturday, a matinee show. A 5 p.m. tip there, but you have to imagine the Knicks are going to be coming in wanting a little revenge for the last game against them, and then a back-to-back, another one at Boston before they head to Philly on Tuesday. What stands out to you about this next three-game trip or schedule for the Magic?
Yeah, no, it's a tough stretch against perennial Eastern Conference powerhouses. When you talk about teams in the East that can all go the distance, whether it's New York, who's already been seasoned and stepped forward last season. We're seeing Boston, even without Jason Tatum, have stretches of success and be a real tough team to guard with the way that they shoot the three-pointer. And then Philly team, who's progressively starting to get healthier and healthier and has, a number of players you have to watch out for, whether it's Magic and Edgecombe in the backcourt or when they're healthy, guys like Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Jared McCain, who can also provide punches as they get work back into the lineup. So there's a lot of threats over that three-game stretch. But if the Magic play the type of basketball that they have over the last 5 games, the last 10 games, I think they'll be well adept to earn a number of victories despite that.
Of course, it all begins tonight here at the Kia Center. Again, take a look at the court when you watch this game. I love it. The Magic taking on the LA Clippers. You can catch all of the action. They'll get you set on FanDuel Sports Network with our pregame show at 6:30 and then tip-off here at 7. This has been so much fun, Dan, as always. This has been Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. We will see you guys next time.
Give the people what they